It's time to bite the bullet and recap this Amiga 1200. It is actually working fine at the moment. I've got it, it's actually on right now, but I don't know the state of the caps. So chances are they've either leaked or they're going to leak because they're these dodgy early 90s surface mount caps. Get this drive out. I think I'll mark this drive cable where pin 1 is. Oh, I don't know where I can put a mark there. The shielding's hiding everything, so let's just take that out for now. Oh yeah, pin 1 is marked. It's got a 1 next to it down there. Hard disk caddy. That should just come out, but it's stuck. I mean, this just pulls out. I know it does, but my God, is it stuck. It's jammed in there. Tell you what, let's try and get the keyboard out first. There's a little clip that you need to pull up. Oh, it's really difficult to get to that thing with the shielding on. Here we go. Ah, there we go. Just need to pop this white clip up. Damn you, Amiga 1200 shielding. You are annoying. Ah, there we go. God, that was a chore. Right, there we go. A little delicate flower keyboard connector. So that's the keyboard out. Let's take this LED mount out. That's keyed as well, so that's all right. This little hard drive thing, that's also keyed. That's good. I said hard drive, floppy drive thing. Got to get this caddy out, and it just refuses to come out. I mean, I know it just pulls out, but why? Why will it not? Oh, there we go. Come on. Just like the slots in the motherboard where this sits on, it's the same as the A600 one. Why is it stuck? Come on. Ugh. It's like there's 3 sides out now, there's just 1 left in. Oh, there we go. Right, next, what happens? Right, 1 tab there. There's quite a few. Got little tabs on this. Yeah, that is a separate little, oh, that's to get to the RAM. Oh, how nice. They built this little thing so you can get to the RAM because it's going to break, probably. I mean, I don't know. That might be a thing. There's a connector in there. What's that for? Is that for testing? Maybe that's why they put that port there. Seems a bit weird that they've put access to the RAM chips. There's a tab. Oh, here's one. It's being held on in this corner, but the screw comes from underneath. Oh, wait a minute. I've just realised I've probably got to take the board out first. I need to take all these out, don't I? I should have done that first. 12 of these to come out. Yeah, so if you haven't got one of these, then I can highly recommend it because it makes doing this a lot quicker than trying to do it with like a pair of pliers like this. So yeah, I don't think I needed to take those out first, but I've done it. Oh, wait a minute, is this screw on the other side of the case? Oh, it is. What a cheat. What is that doing there? I did not realise that was... oh, this board's going to fall out now. Oh yeah, there we go. Let's get that out. Yeah, so that's weird. So that one there is actually screwed in from the underside and there's just 1 screw holding this whole motherboard in. Yes, that's going to pop out now, I think. There's something else is holding it in. It's stuck under the lip there, which is like the rail for the expansion. So I can't lift it up, but sliding it back doesn't really work because then these bits won't come out of the end here. Maybe I just need to slide this. I'm going to put this back and see where I've gone wrong. Oh, there we go. So I need to pull that. Oh, right. So I've slid it forward and then it's got stuck under there. So I don't want to do that. I just want to do that and it comes out. Right. That was me making a goof of that. Hey, there we go. So that's the actual case. There's a bit of dirt in there. Oh, there's some black. I don't know what that is. Is that mold or something? But otherwise, it looks all right. The case is in good shape. Does it just come off? So that was the thing that was holding on with that screw that came through the bottom. So there's a clip there. Stops it from rattling around, I suppose. I think the other Amigas have got a clip on this edge that holds it in. Maybe this is the way of doing it. Oh, there's another clip. There's another one here. Right. Oh, there's more. There's one folded the opposite way down here. Jesus. Most ridiculous number of tabs. Right, come on, you can do it. Are all the tabs free? No, there's another one or something. No, it's just stuck, I think. There we go. Come on. Way! Jeez, that was a chore. More shielding. We love shielding. Oh, shiny. This was the point when I should have taken these out, like just now. That's interesting. Down there, they've got a little Factory bodge. What does it say? A1200. It's, oh, you've got some sign-offs from some people who did the ROM test, system test or whatever. Quality control's not ticked. There was no quality control. Let's get the rest of the shielding off and then just give it an examination. Okay, we're free. And there's no rust in the bottom. There we go, we're finally free of the computer. Free. Let's have a look at these caps. So what have we got? We've got a bunch down here that come in for the power. They're actually looking okay as well. There's no bulging. I can't see any leaking on those. They look all right. Possibly. I mean, just because they look okay doesn't mean they're working. We've got a couple down here. They don't look too bad either. This one here. Yeah, it looks all right. I mean, this Amiga is working, so I'm not expecting huge problems. That one looks all right. This one behind the keyboard connector. I tried to do the A600 one without taking the keyboard connector off, and I can take the cap off, but I couldn't put the other one back on. So I'm definitely going to take the keyboard connector off. And Jan Beat has just done a video and he did the same thing on his. You can see like there's some green stuff on this resistor here, or whatever it is. It just looks generally a bit crappy around there. So it's possible that that has gone. Well, not gone, but is going. We've got two here. I think they might be audio. It looks a bit more tarnished around there, so this one could have been leaking. This one looks okay, doesn't look like it's leaked. We've got a little teeny one here. So to the left of CN12, that one is definitely gone. That's the problem with these, they're going to start leaking. And the computer will probably work. When I say probably, you're not really sure, it depends on what the cap does. It's just nice to check them to see like, are you really wasting your time here or not? But that one is looking not so great. I'd have to look up what CN12 does. Maybe one of those is leaked. That resistor there looks a bit weird. On the whole, it's not super bad actually, but they're getting replaced because it looks like they're starting to go. At least one of them started to go, and if one of them's going, the other ones are probably going as well. I think that's those two audio caps there, and I don't know if you can see, but tarnishing on that chip next to them. Channel Z, A1200 revision, as it says, it looks like 104 or something like that. 1992, all rights reserved. There's all the guys that worked on it, a lot of guys. And it's got its FCC ID, but I had to with all that shielding on. Excellent. First thing to do then is to take this keyboard connector out, which means desoldering all these pins down here. So there it is, that's the keyboard connector off. That didn't go too badly. It took about 10 minutes with the desoldering station. The trick with these when taking these off is to just take your time, because there's a lot of pins, and if just one of them is connected and you try and rip this thing off, you're just going to destroy it. The time lapse is pretty fast, but that did actually take me quite a while to do that. Oh, look at all these odd, that is the silk screen just falling off. So I think that said CN3, so the silk screen's just not stuck very well to this board. I wonder if that does indicate that this cap here, this cap here has actually leaked. Yeah, because you can see all the tarnishing on this thing here and on this one, and there's a bit of tarnishing on these. So that cap has likely to have leaked, I think. So they're all on the way out, unfortunately. And just while I'm here, it's quite a lot easier to see this one as well. These should be shiny, but they're not. They're really dull. And so's this chip here. Whereas if you look at the stuff that's not quite as near to it, like this stuff, like this all shiny around here, and then as soon as you go near the caps, it's all dull. So these are leaking. I think that's leaking. And I think there's one over here. Yeah, you can see that one. It looks pretty bad. So that one has leaked. There's tarnishing on that one. I think that one's all right, but it's coming from somewhere. Yeah, we can just get a better look at this one near the power board as well now. You can see that there's like tarnishing on this resistor. I think it's come from one of these caps, but I don't know which one. Maybe not, but I mean, something going on there. There's the keyboard connector that came out. That came out quite nicely. So let's just give that a little clean. Yeah, there's like a 3 in there. Look, there's where the silk screen has come off. That is not good. Probably should take some photographs of this before I go any further, so in case this whole thing starts getting corrupted. So it doesn't look like there's any damage. Yeah, don't rip these things off, just take them off slowly. That's what you want to be doing. I think it's a possibility that this corrosion from these is actually just the very first thing it's done is starting to rip the silk screen off. I'll just give these holes a little bit of a clean with solder work. I think the first caps that I'm going to attack are these four here. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all the same cap and they seem to all be related to audio. These two definitely are. I think these two are as well. So I'll just do these four first and then move on to the rest. So first thing I'm going to do is put some heat resistant tape around them, around the areas that I don't want to get hot, because I'm going to use the hot air to remove these. So much of this silk screen is just falling off. Yeah, I think there has been corrosion from the caps that's causing it to do that. Right, that might be a little excessive, but what the hell. I'm going to try and keep the heat off this plastic stuff, really. That's the main thing, and I also don't want to melt any nearby resistors. They generally seem to be alright. Even if they do melt, they probably just solder themselves back on anyway. That is a lot of tape. I should not have used that much tape. So I've got the hot air station on. I've got it on 350 on reasonably high airflow, and I can just feel that there. It's not really hot at that distance, but what I am going to do is just try and heat the board up a little bit, just gently, because the board's quite cold, and the warmer the board is, the easier it's going to get these caps off. But also I find that the first cap that you take off actually takes quite a while to get off, and you have to hold the heat on it for quite a while because it's quite cold. The next cap that you come to is a lot easier because the board's been heated up. So really, if you can just heat the board up a bit first, it's probably less damaging to the board, and also just makes the first cap or two easier to get off, which is what we want. So I'm just going to try and generally heat it up around this area. And the trick is here to get the heat on each side of the cap, on the side of the leg where the cap actually is attached to the board. And then just don't apply any force to take it off. It should just fall off on its own once you've applied enough heat. I'm just going to knock it off with some tweezers. I'm not really going to pull it off. If you're pulling it, you're doing it wrong probably. It just should fall off on its own. So it's not, I'm holding it at a distance so that, you know, even my hand can hold it there. So it can't be too hot. It must be less than 60 degrees at that distance. But I'm just trying to heat the board up to around that temperature at least, to just get it slightly warm. I think I put too much tape on here. You can't even see the solder joints. Once one's come off, I'm going to go straight for the other because the board's going to be super hot. So these things can go pop, so a pair of safety glasses is probably advisable. I've got a video where one popped on me when I was doing an A600. So just be aware of that. So the main important thing is don't damage the board, don't damage your face. Here we go. Let's go for this one first. There we go. That one came out without popping. Let's see what I get on this one. There we go. So that one came up a bit easier. There we go. That has probably gone all right. Let me get some of this off. The board's still going to be quite hot around here. There were no explosions. Let's just dab some flux on and clean these up. This is liquid flux. Might just put a bit of fresh solder on and then clean them actually. try and give this whole area a clean because it does have something on it from these capacitors, I think. All this silk screen is just disappearing. Just to be sure that I definitely haven't messed anything up, check with the multimeter and we'll have a look to see, make sure all these pads are connected to something. So that's connected to there and to, well, I don't know where that one goes. That one disappears under there somewhere. Something here. Oh, is it connected to ground? Yeah, it is. So if you can't find where to go, this Amiga PCB Explorer is generally quite good. It reckons that this one just goes to here. Yes, it does. This one goes down to this chip down here. Yes, it does. So that one's good. These two are good. This one up here goes to the other side of the board over here somewhere. Yes, it does. Yep, there we go. So I've not broken any tracks. It's always worth checking though, because sometimes you can... I've had things where it just looks like they're not broken, but a tiny little fracture in it, and it just doesn't work. So it's worth checking, because you don't get a better chance while these caps are off. Yeah, the Amiga PCB Explorer is a very good way to find those traces if you can't find them. So next job is to put some caps back. And these are all the same cap. And these were 303 and 304, but the silk screen has come off now. So I think the way to go with these, get one of the pads on, then get the other one on. And on this one here, a little bit of flux wouldn't hurt. Right, and make sure you put them back on the right way, because put them on the wrong way, they're going to explode. And I just took a picture of it before, I'm just comparing it to the picture. My silk screen probably would have marked it, but it's all gone now. Well, some of it's gone. So these new caps are smaller than the old ones. There we go, and just make sure it's pushed down. So that's just got one leg on. Let me just put the other one on there as well, maybe. Or maybe I'll just solder this bit on while I'm here. Right, and just give it a poke to check that it's on. So it doesn't tip up or anything like that. So that is on there. Pretty solid. I think it did slightly melt the connector there, but that's the price we've got to pay. I think this one goes on in the same orientation as the other. I think I got it. Yeah, so it's on with one leg there. And this one's quite hard to get to because there's this like little diode or inductor in the way, or whatever it is. So, oh, that's quite tricky to get to. I'll need to turn the board around. There we go. Yeah, so giving it another little nudge just to make sure. Oh, that one's a bit on a bit wonky actually. Hopefully that makes good connection. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it down there, but I have put that one on quite wonky. Just goes to this thing next door. So that solder joint's making connection, and the cap's definitely on, so it is on there. So I'm going to leave it. It looked like it was really on straight from the front, and then you look at the back and it's just not. Right, these two down here, these should be pretty easy, hopefully. So again, I'm just going to put a bit of solder on the pad. In fact, it probably needs a bit of flux first. Oh, that is better with the flux. Not for my lungs though. Okay, so let's get this one on. Just make sure it's pushed down. That's better. I'll just flip it around and solder the other side. More flux. Can't have enough flux. Well, you can. You can literally flood the place. And you can get it inside your connectors and it stops them from working. But apart from that, you can't have too much flux. Just giving them a nudge to make sure they're all right. And I think they're on. Just give this a bit of a clean. I'm just trying to mop up the old flux that's everywhere. Bit of the traces exposed there on that one. Maybe these caps have started to do a little bit of damage and it was time to actually get them up. Yeah, there's actually just a little bit of exposed copper there. I've got some nail varnish I could put on that actually. Because one thing I don't want is that when I resolder this back in for that trace to get connected to one of these keyboard connectors, because it looks like it's got nothing to do with it. Right, let's give this thing a boot test with just these 4 new caps. Plug the disk drive in and pretty much nothing else. I've got the sound on because I want to test the sound. Here we go. Make sure nothing explodes. It's coming on. It takes a while to boot the Amiga 1200. There it goes. What am I booting? I don't even know. Oh, there you go. It is the Amiga test kit. Took a while to boot. I think that drive's a bit dodgy. Is that on? Yes. Right, audio. It sounds great. And nothing has exploded. It does sound good. So that's just those few caps replaced, and that has been a success so far. Assuming these two are audio capacitors, it looks like they are from the schematics, but I'm not exactly sure. They go to left and right, and these two are for the op amp. That's gone well. So 4 down and quite a few more to go actually. So onwards and upwards.